plus a week. There's going to be no end to that. There's no, I'll retire and I can just chill out, because you can't rely on your kids to look after you anymore.
Yeah.
Because they've got to deal with their own thing, right?
Yeah.
So it was quite easy being a Londoner. Like, I think if I could grow up in the countryside in a big house with animals and like that kind of fairy tale lifestyle, I might have gone with that. But in London, man, it's just too hard to make the money.
Yeah.
You just like, you know.
Nah, you.
£6 a pint now, man. It's just mental. Plus, like, you know, I'm not worried about gas prices.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about utilities. I'm not worried about, because I'm in a good position.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about any of that shit. Shit goes up 10%, I just move to Spain.
Yeah,
Don't have
that's
to worry
it.
about nothing.
Nothing's holding you down.
Nothing. That's what I mean. The options.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Look, man. Like my sister, she's blessed. 3 girls, a loving husband, all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But mate, she can't leave. She's got a
it.
mortgage, car payments, credit card, overdraft. Man, I'm sweating just thinking about it. So she can't. She got to deal with all of this inflation, and I don't care about any of that.
I love that.
I don't care if things go bad for me. Morocco.
That's it.
Look, you know.
Massive Morocco.
Dude, man, I just let him do it. Are you joking?
Yeah,
I got Ghanaian friends, Nigerian friends. But I can go to Ghana, buy 2 acres for $20,000, and I can live there. No one's gonna bother me. I can grow. I can plant. The options. I'm generalising here, but the options. I could buy a boat, mate.
Yeah.
20 grand. I could buy a boat, residential. I looked at all of the options.
Yeah.
And that's basically what I'm saying. The freedom to do that. And I'm not this whole I'm lonely crap. That's all bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
That's all just people
scared.
Most guys were nomadic from the beginning of time.
Yeah.
They moved, they used the resources, then they moved somewhere else. If they were lucky, they hooked up with a tribe. But most of us, man, were just, you know, guys, we went out there, did our own thing. Got a dog. And like, you know, man, like people, I got enough hobbies to keep me busy till the end of days.
Yeah.
And right, man, it's not difficult to meet a girl in this.
Yeah,
that's it. It's too easy.
No, that's it.
Even if if you've got one eye and one pack, one conky leg, there's a woman out there. There's several waiting for someone to come and keep them company. I don't suffer from like, if I want company, Weatherspoons. Yeah. But look, man, it's different. Like if I want a good woman, you do the apps, you go through the list, you filter, and you hope for the best.
That's it.
Because it's a crapshoot, bro.
Yeah.
I've been with the crazies, and they look normal, they act normal, and you wake up with a fork in your back.
Dude,
no, mate. So.
And a lot of married men are in households with a lot of those women, mate.
They're either with the crazies or they're not getting any. And they're starting to look outfield. Because guys are generally loyal, right?
I believe so.
Most guys are loyal. They stick with a job. They just want an easy life. Yeah?
That's
like
it.
you do get the playboy guys, but it's a small percentage of guys, right? Most guys, they just want to settle, come the weekend, want the day off. They're not into like, they don't want a traditional woman that does the cooking. They're happy if the girl's working, at least they got something to talk about. So, that, but the reality is, I'm happy with this situation, man. Purely because of the options it gives me. Dude, when they first locked down, I went to Tenerife for a year.
Yeah.
I went to Tenerife for a year, bro. Totally illegal after 3 months. No one said jack to me. No one said nothing because the world was too busy locking down COVID. I was on an Airbnb, mate, and you can rent Airbnb for a year. I rented an Airbnb for a year for €700 a month. And I stayed in Tenerife, mate.
That's lovely.
Dude.
That's lovely.
I came back here and honestly, it took me 3 months to filter out the weather.
Get back into it.
People hear all this mental health shit. I said, why did you stay? And they stayed because they had to. They had to work from home, or they had to do all this rubbish.
They were locked down before the lockdown,
Right. But I mean, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then Tenerife, I met a couple of girls there. longer, you know, I run out of money, so I came back now, recovered.
Yeah.
That's the thing, man. Like, you can't make yourself too insular, right? You got to give yourself the option to do different things. And yeah, you need a safety net, yeah. But you can make money anyway. You can. When I was in Tenerife, they were looking for people to work behind the bar. They were looking for people.
That's right.
So even if you went out there with bare minimum, yeah,
right.
you could still buy food, drink, and
pay for your house.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I don't really care about buying a house, man. I don't really care about like the only thing that I own is this car.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, I rent. I've got a studio flat that I rent. I don't want to lay out $500,000 for a house.
Yeah, that's it.
And I don't want to get involved in buying to rent because I've got to deal with tenants, brother.
Yeah.
And if you're blessed, you'll get a good tenant. If you're not, I met a couple of guys. Actually, so they were Australians. And the minute it came in where the landlord couldn't chuck them out, they stopped paying the rent.
That's it.
This guy was like, I haven't paid the rent for 8 months and I'm going back to Australia in a couple of months. I said, I'm going to be 12 grand. And dude, there's a part of me that says, you know, don't hate the players.
Absolutely.
Like, if you can get away with that, there's a part of me that's moral, yeah? And I think poor landlord. But dude.
Nah, fuck the morals, man. The game's the game, bruv. Yeah, nah, fuck all that.
Fuck all that, brother.
Man.
Like, at the end of the day, this guy was going back to Australia with 12 grand.
Smiling, bruv.
Dude, smiling. Plus the pound is double the dollar. So he was actually going back with $24,000. Mate. You want to be, you know, when you're around guys like that,
yeah,
you see life totally different.
Nah, that's it.
Don't stick with, like, you know,
ooh, let me do it the righteous way.
You'll die under a rock.
That's it.
You follow the rules. You pay your taxes. You get 2-3 jobs.
That's
Dude,
it.
You're dead at 60, man.
That's it.
And no one cares.
That's it.
That's the reality, right? I don't know. You know. So what's your like family, man?
Bruv, you're speaking facts. Nah. See me, I grew up in a family household,
right.
And it's funny you just said you're dead at 60. My dad passed away a couple of years ago at 60.
Sorry,
yeah, no, it's all good. And when I sit down and I reflect on, I had a very great life coming up. You know what I'm saying? My parents really put an effort in and sacrifice so the kids could, you know, do all right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also watched how it sucked the life out of them.
Right.
And it sucked the life out of my dad specifically as a man. So I think I kind of subconsciously reacted to that because I've patterned my life in such a way. I've just got back from America, mate. I've lived in America for 10 years.
Damn,
in Florida.
You came back?
I came back, bruv. But you know why I came back?
No.
Because I got a decent gig out there, you know, and it's in business and it pays well, but it's not like your salary type job. It's still based, so you got to kind of eat what you kill. If you fucking kill,
You got to be on point, yeah.
Right? But anyway, I was getting sucked into it a bit. Like I made a bit of cash last year, got myself this nice ass apartment and all this stuff.
Okay.
One day I woke up, bro, and I was like, wait, what am I doing, man? Like, what am I doing? It just didn't feel right. I felt like I was being dragged into the path that you've just been talking about.
Right.
So that's why I said, you know what, let me take a break from this American dream and let me actually come back to this rain and all this stuff just to ground me a bit. But I'll be back over there in a few months, so
Dude, well
don't get twisted.
Man. Like, but it takes a strong guy to readjust.
No, that's
You've got to give yourself to readjust because 100%, man, you can lose years.
That's it.
And then you realise, and by then you've dug a hole.
That's it. And it might be in a nice house. It might be, you know, you might have all that stuff going on, but at what fucking cost at the end of the day?
Dude, you know, I've got mates, they've got a £500,000 mortgage. They're never in the house because they're working.
That's it, to keep it.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're working to keep it now. Look, they're with partners who love the house and, you know, happy wife, happy all of that bullshit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, brother, like, you know, your blood pressure's skyrocketing.
Yeah.
You're stressed out because you never give yourself time. Plus, also, I've said it before, man, you lose touch with your partner. You don't see her, you don't mix with her, you're going to lose touch. And then she's going to be like, we're never together, we never do anything. Yeah, but that's because I'm paying for the house to keep us both happy. But you're not enjoying the house.
Right.
I lived with a couple of women, and I had the house and I had all that. And what happened, dude? You know, I used to come back, it was dark, the girl was asleep.
That's it.
5 days, and then on the weekends I was too tired. I weren't really that interested, you know, in doing too much.
Yeah.
Now I rent, I work part-time. So as soon as I made £100, I stopped working.
Yeah.
And I work 7 days. So to make £100 takes me 4 hours.
Yeah,
so
there
I
you
do
go.
4 hours, 100 quid done.
Yeah,
So that's what I do. Then I got a dog, I go to the gym, go to the cinema, go to a restaurant, nothing big. I'll go travelling, just casual. And you know what, man, my blood pressure come right down, I lost all this weight, my attitude towards life completely changed.
Yeah.
I still got to deal with chicks. I've got 3 sisters, so I've got to deal with that. But I mean, my attitude towards life, so I'm 45, so my attitude towards life is like, I'm not going to buy a house, I'm not going to do it, right? I got some money saved, I got a few investments, and I'm pretty aloof, man. Like, I don't really stress out about anything because I've got choices. You've done something I wish I would have done, and that was going to the States. I think that's awesome what you've done. I thought about it a couple of years ago. I went out there, did New York, I did Florida, I did Miami, and I was like, damn, the women are smoking hot.
Oh, bruv.
They all make an effort. They were extremely chatty and quite feminine, quite nice. There's the Latinas out there, and like my partner's Brazilian, so I'm a big fan of them. And the food was awesome. And I was like, man, the dollar is so flexible. You can do so
Anywhere
much
you go, bruv.
with a lot. You don't like. Whereas you can't do jack with £1,000. Can't do nothing. Can't do nothing. Maybe you buy 4 tires and you get your MOT. That's it. 4 tires and that's in a Prius. That's not a BM. That's not a
That's an MOT, bro.
MOT, 4 tires.
Nah, I get it. Nah, the States is definitely blessed. It's and I'm glad I made that decision, because going there kind of broke me away from a lot of the pals that I went to school with over here who get the job, get the C2C line from my family's in Southend, isn't it?
Okay.
So C2C line from Southend to London to go work in the city, back home, get the mortgage, the bird, blah blah blah. It broke that illusion for me. So now, honestly, a lot of things you're talking about, I'm related to. Like, I'm 29.
Okay.
And
you're that perfect age, mate.
Yeah, but it's the point where a lot of my peers, they're getting sucked into it. So it's like me, I'm now trying to make that decision of, I don't think I want a wife. I don't think I want to. If I can make a bit of cash, shitload. My philosophy's been, if I can bank out and make a shitload of cash where I can buy a modest house, up front, cash down, then I'll do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But none of this perfect, monthly payments. Well, the smart thing would be to save the money, but you've got to make the money, right? That's it.
Some people, like, I can only relate in England, man. There's no chance you will never save 300,000.
Right.
You'll never save 200 grand. Very, very small percentage of guys have, because then you've got to put in the 12-hour shifts.
That's
it.
The 80-hour week.
Few guys, have the academia or the opportunity to make really big money in a short amount of time. Because, dude, man, if you're saving like 50 grand a year, saving that, you've got to spend 4 years doing that. That's a long time. That's a long time.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, oh, sod it, I'll just get a mortgage. So, like, I get it over here, but I'm just so far away from that. The marriage thing, look, man, I understand it. Look, I've been with girls who were mates, and then we got into it together. And for 6 months, man, it was paradise. I mean, it's the best feeling in the world, but it's always the same. It's always the same, but it doesn't matter. It always comes down to like, who can dominate the other.
Control.
It's a shame, because like I've noticed that with guys as well. That if we live together and we're doing the same thing all the time, I mean, there's much less friction than when you're with a girl. Much less friction.
That's it.
And it's usually alpha guys, but there's still less friction because we're doing our own thing, So I've just, I won't. My girl keep asking me to come and move in with me. We'll save the money. I say, like, don't forget the money. I don't need the money. I just know what's going to happen. And I've got a studio flat that I rent. Imagine if she moved in with me. Man, it's tiny.
Yeah.
Any minute now, I'll lose the dog. I'll definitely lose the dog. I'll definitely lose my time off, and I've done it with every single woman. They're all the same.
That's it.
So for me, part time is the best way. But don't get me wrong, man. you can meet your best mate and you could move on together, and there's that dream. You know, there are examples of things working out, but there's a time span.
That's
what
it,
I
man.
found is that'll work for 5 years, 10 years, but it's coming. It's coming when she's going to turn around and just say to you, I've changed my mind.
Yeah.
And by that stage, you've become an introvert with her family. Most guys, they forget their mates, or they just make her the whole life. And then, you know, then you lose all of that shit. And then it takes you another 5 years to get out of that and recover.
Yeah. This time you are 40-something, you know what I mean? You've not as youthful as you probably were, and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it happens to a lot of guys. A lot of guys who get surprised by the whole thing, because you always feel like you're doing the right thing, right?
Yeah.
You do the right thing. You get the flowers. You do the Valentine. You do the Christmas. You visit her family.
Get the house.
You try and get on with it. You spend all this money and you spend all this time, and in the end, man, you never really get it back. I never really think it's equal setting. I've never had it where it's been equal setting. Where I've bought, like, you know, I bought her a car once. You know, $5,000. Just I bought her a car, and you know, like,
damn,
so,
that pussy must have been good, bro.
I was just in love, man. I was young. I was making money,
yeah.
and I just thought that, you know, like, guys, we have that. We've got like heart.
Yeah,
so
no, it's true.
When we
It's
think
true.
that someone deserves something, we just go all out. And to be honest with you, man, $5,000 for a car is nothing.
Nothing,
It's
yeah.
nothing, man.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
cost me 12,
Yeah.
and I bought this outright. So it's really nothing, like $5,000. But she was really, really grateful. Did it work out between us? No, man. Did she then sell the car and keep the money?
Yeah,
man. Do you see what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I learned my lesson, bro. I
Yeah.
learned my lesson, man. But again, like, life's a school, right?
That's
it's an
it, bro.
education. You just learn, then you get old, then you die. So make the most of it. So, man, like, yeah, my philosophy now is just to have fun with everything I do. Have a safety net. You know, I could take a 5-year sabbatical, but I've got the freedom of movement, man.
That's it.
Up-to-date passport.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all of that. So for me, it's just a choice. And when I was in Tenerife for a year, I just realised how easy it was to do something. I was totally illegal after 3 months. You need a visa.
Yeah.
But I stayed. And then when I came back, no one checked nothing.
That's it,
So
bro.
I was like, damn.
Rules are here to be
do it,
broken,
man.
for
Like-
fuck's sake. No,
well, I
for
just
real.
thought, like, things like that. I mean, you know, don't ever hurt anyone, but shit like that, you can get away with it.
That's
no one
it.
will say nothing, mate. So I was like, man, like, you just start looking at different things you can do. We're quite blessed in this country. In America as well, you got like the gig economy. You can do seasonal work, right?
That's it. Freelance.
Freelance. Here I don't know what it's like in the States. In England, you can earn $12,500 without paying any tax.
Oh, solid.
So, for example, like, that would be like 1,100 quid a month. So if you had no bills, right? You got your car, you got your house, you'd be making £1,100 a month. If you're working to make that after tax, you would need to make 20 grand.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so you can make up to 12.5 and stop, or you'd have to make 20 grand, pay tax, and then you'd get 12.5.
Right.
So, you know, I know a lot of Uber drivers who do, you know, they just work, they make 12.5, and then, you know, they're using that money for other things,
Yeah.
But they're only working, like, you know, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, I used to do this kind of full time, but I mean, this will kill you. You start hating customers. You start getting road rage.
Hate driving.
You just get all,
yeah.
Right. It's all high blood pressure, high anxiety. You know, that's a lot of guys. They got fired from Uber.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how to deal. Like, they get a couple of drunk people and they're already stressed out. So a drunk guy will say something, then they react.
Now,
You know,
they're
rather
fighting.
than just pulling over.
Yeah,
and
get out
say,
my
"Look,
car."
bro, get out of my car. Don't want that energy, or just keeping it like maintained. So now Uber does like a 2-day, you know, course on difficult customers. Do you know what I mean?
You gotta pay for that.
How to deal with it. No, they do it for free.
Okay.
But it's really obvious stuff.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
Don't react.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
pull over, whatever, you know. It's only ever happened to me once when a guy got in the car and he smelled so bad of weed.
Yeah.
Imagine. I had to open the windows, and he said, "Oh, put the windows up. I'm cold." And I said, "Look, man, I can't, man. I pick up
Others.
children, family. If I don't, you're gonna leave that in the car."
Yeah.
So he got really offended, and I said, "Look, man, do what you like. Like, you know, I don't mind a couple of smokes on the weekends. I prefer alcohol, but each to his own.
Yeah.
But I can't do it, man. You're gonna get out of the car, and I'm gonna have to completely clean." And I said, "It's an £8 ride."
Yeah.
Anyway, dude, man, this guy started like, you know, he got really sensitive. Or anyway, I pulled over. I said, "Look, you just get out of the car." I said, "I have an adverse reaction." You know, you start talking to him like if you're 5 years of age, just to de-escalate.
Yeah.
So anyway, he got out of the car, called Uber, and all of this. I had to tell him. So anyway, like imagine a situation like that, dude. But he obviously he's had a smoke.
He's feeling some way,
yeah. To the car.
Yeah,
That's all it was.
Yeah.
But I just can't, mate. It's like vaping and all that. Like if we're gonna do a serious journey, I'll let you vape, but I don't mind stopping you vape. So, do you deal with customers in your job?
Yeah, so like what clients,
Right.
yeah, exactly, yeah, and typically.
So then you know.
Oh, absolutely,
you have
man.
to have
bro, the way you handle people can get you very far in this world. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, that's very key. So you got to know how to, talk around it.
Yeah, 100%. That's a real skill that you have to develop it.
That's it.
If you deal with people, you absolutely have to develop it.
That's it.
A lot of guys who ask me about being an Uber driver, it's always the same, can you make more money at night? And I said, yes, but bro, what type of person are you? Because I would recommend you work at nights.
Right,
But you
it's a
can
tough
make
one.
more money. I said, yeah, you can make more money, but you're going to get people who are drunk or drugs, or you're going to get couples fighting. Like there's a whole range of situations. Maybe someone gets sick in your car. You have to really know how to be kind of cool with that.
Right.
And just be proactive with the situation.
Be ready to deal with it. Yeah.
Yeah, and at the same time you've got to deal with it, and you've still got to maintain calm.
Yeah.
You've still got to maintain
Respect and all that stuff. Yeah, bro. I'm updating the drop off to be the stadium itself actually.
Okay. Yeah, no problem, man.
Which I don't think it's too far.
Yeah, it's okay, man. How you doing for time?
Yeah, no, good now. Yeah, man. Kickoffs at 3 innit, so doing all right.
Well, it's got to get a little bit worse than this if they stop it, right?
Well, the rain. Yeah, fucking hell. It's lovely, innit?
Well, I mean, welcome, mate.
Yeah, I know, bro. No, honestly, the moment I got out of the airport, bruv, I was like, what?
How are you climatizing?
You know what? At first, my first few days, it was a bit like because everyone was telling me, bro, you're mad, you're nuts. What are you doing? But I was like, bro, my heart is telling me I've got to do this. So the first couple of days, I was even like, oh, what the fuck have I done? You know what I mean, bro? So I went Amsterdam for a few days, innit? just to break it up, bro. Just to break it up, and you know what? That helped. Because when I got back, I was like, do you know what? All right, I feel all right now. And more time, like you've been talking about, bruv, I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to go Paris in February. Might even touch South Africa in March. So I've just come back to have this as a base. Be back in the family house, not pay rent for the time that I'm kind of building my own little business and things like this. So yeah, man.
But that's cool, man. You can just jump on the Eurostar.
That's it.
Go for the day.
That's it.
You know what I mean? It's all about just keeping it interesting without really spending a fortune.
That's it.
The thing that you might notice is the cost of living I imagine it's much more than in the States, right? For all the little things that you're going to get,
Right.
But I mean, I wish you luck, mate. I think it takes a strong guy to readjust and then come back. And then, but I mean, I think it's a smart way.
Thank you, man. I feel like I've got a plan. I've got foundations in the US, so...
That's perfect, man. So you've done the hard work.
That's it, bruv. That's it.
You've done the hard work. Plus, you've got to keep life interesting.
That's it, mate. That's it.
You've got to keep, because I mean, who wants to just sit down and Netflix and all that shit? Forget all that, mate. Forget all that. That's one thing about Americans. Like when you talk to them, they're like life coaches. The ones I've met are like travelers. They're doing shit. Because their work ethic is just ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
It's non-stop. So there is that aspect. Very ambitious, but you get so much more for your money out there.
It's true.
To be fair, like with across the board, clothes, food,
everything, right?
Just across the board, you get so much more.
Like the housing, bruv, it does not even. Honestly, it almost makes me sick. Like, for example, let's use that round number 300,000, which is a lot of fucking money, but in the scheme of houses, it's it's moderate.
It's moderate,
right? 300,000 at least in Florida, mate.
Yeah.
Will get you. You'll feel like you're living like a fucking king. You'll have a pool in the back, depending on where you pick to live. You'll have a pool. It'll just be lovely, mate. 300,000 over here. That's gonna. I mean, it's gonna get you.
You're talking about like Romford.
Yeah.
So that's you wearing what do they Kevlar stab proof. That's you wearing like Kevlar every day, wondering if today's the day.
Right.
I mean, over here, most of the time, you just get stabbed by people who know you. But I mean, like 300 grand just wouldn't get you, and it would be terraced.
Right.
Tiny back garden,
exactly.
No front garden.
Right next to the other person.
Parking.
Right.
So you're basically stuck together.
That's it.
Like that's what 300 grand to get you. And to be fair, if you had 300 grand, you'd probably still do a first time buyer scheme or a.
Right.
But I mean, it would get you nowhere. If you worked in London, it would get you. You'd still have to be paying out money to travel, right? So it wouldn't solve any problems. You could take that 300 grand and move to Southampton or Bournemouth.
Outside.
That area. And you could probably get something
do
nice.
better, innit? Yeah.
And then that could be a step up to.
Right.
But it's I know what you mean, man. Like if you think about Florida, a house with a pool, parking space. It's detached.
Nice neighborhoods.
Dude, man, those days here, they're really gone, mate.
Far gone.
The way they design houses around here as well, it's all terraced or end of terrace, or it's flats. So you're living next to another. There's nothing you can do. Recovering.
Just cramming people on top of each other, innit?
And then like the government's wondering why people, why people hit the alcohol. Cause you don't want to work all day and then come back and then you're frightened of your neighbour.
That's it.
Then if you start shit, the police gonna come and you still gotta come back to the flat. It's really tragic, bro. I grew up in a council estate, and when I was younger, I couldn't care less. I felt Superman. But the minute I hit 35, you just want to slow down. You don't want to deal with nuts because there's just too many. There's too much mental health in this country, mate. But I mean, like, when you were over there, brother, you never worried about like crime. You're all good with that?
Oh, mate, I mean, yeah. And again, I was, don't get it twisted. There are those areas over there, you know what I'm saying?
You didn't hang around those areas.
That's and you got to come from that over there to being there. If you're an English person getting over there, you're not gonna find yourself in that living situation. You know what I mean? So the reality is, no, I didn't have to worry about that, bro.
That's fantastic.
I didn't. Man.
And what about the women out there, man?
Oh,
did you hook up with any? What was that?
Did I hook up with any? Mate.
That's why I'm over here.
Yeah. No, first of all, I mean, the class of them is just different. And then two, there's nothing about me. Yeah, I've got my head on my shoulders. I'd say I'm a half decent, handsome lad, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But there ain't nothing special about me, mate. And I clean up whenever I want to clean up. A lot of times based on the fact that you're English.
Right.
They absolutely adore you being someone different, speaking different. They love the English accent.
Plus, it sounds like you're a people person anyway, man. So
there's that too. Yeah. You can't just have an English accent and they're gonna, everyone's gonna be like, But it's gonna set you apart and get you going.
Right,
you know?
I mean, sometimes that's all you need, right?
That's
that, like,
it.
1%.
That's it.
And then the rest is
and work on,
gravy,
yeah,
right?
you take it from there. That's it, man. But no, the women, the people, bro. I was leaving and I was dealing with this one bird.
Right.
I was dealing with a couple, and but there's one specific who, you know, I was like, I did see not a future with her, but a bit more potential. Where I was like, even though I'm leaving, I can still keep you in mind, right? But she was over here. Bear in mind, we'd only been seeing each other about 3 months. Bro, she was trying to lock me the fuck down. You know, she was putting on all this pressure. No, I want to be the only one, and just the other day when I was in Amsterdam, I had to call her and I said, listen, it's just not going to go like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to work like that. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, that's actually, you know, that's cool that you're straight with her. Yeah,
that's it.
Well, I mean, that's just the experience. You're just saving yourself a lot of hassle.
That's it.
A lot of hassle afterwards. It's a difficult one. You know how it is, man. They get to 30.
Yeah, pressure's on.
Well, a little bit, right? A little bit. And they're thinking of the whole picture.
Right.
So, I mean,
I get it. No, I get it.
Yeah, I get it, man.
I treat the women I involve myself with. I always treat them with respect. It's not just I'm never fucking duck type guy. None of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, we got to find out. I've got my life that I'm living, and end of the day, you've got to fit into that. I'm not the one who's gonna come fit into your life.
Yeah, you're right. Look, man, I never lose a phone number, right? You never.
That's it.
Do I have girls that don't want to have nothing to do with me? Yes,
of course.
But I mean, I'll still send them a, you know, Happy Christmas. I mean, I learn quite a bit from women. I've got a mate who's an actor, and he meets beautiful women all the time because he's in TV shows and he's like that. He's always friendly. He fucks up in relationships, but he keeps the number. Then he sends them like Christmas card, and they forget, and they get a little bit smoother. And also, you know, as you get older, they might be potentially like good friends.
Good for you,
And you know, like, so I you know, like, you learn this lesson. But I will say, man, like, you are right. If they see potential, I've never known a woman not to go for. If they think it's potentially we can do really well. So, like, I think no matter what, you know, you're always going to get that. I just found, like, women in the States make more of an effort, like their appearance, the weight thing.
Yeah, they take care of themselves.
They take care of themselves. There's a bit more to that. It could be the weather. It could be, I don't know, like...
few things in it.
It could be a few things. Generally, I don't know. Like like I said, man, I like girls who are maybe a bit chatty, or they're not just. It's not just a monologue. But again, you know, I'm not really chatty to girls like when I'm doing this job because I don't want. There's been a lot of complaints about Uber drivers being,
using the opportunity.
Well, there is that, and also there's the perception. Like, I'm friendly.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know how it is, people just get the wrong perception.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just being friendly, man. I couldn't give a monkey's, you know, about a girl. I'm not going to try and pull you if I'm working.
Yeah.
But I'm just being friendly because, you know, that can go sideways so quickly. But I mean, I've never had any complaints, but I've known Uber drivers who, do you know what I mean? God damn. That's what I mean.
These roads are so tight, aren't they?
Yeah, but we're just up there. Oh, that's very kind of. Yeah, we're just up the road here.
Yeah, no, quality.
Actually, to be fair, I'm surprised we've even got this far, mate.
Yeah, fair enough.
Normally, this would be pretty busy, right? Right, mate, so you're just up here, yeah?
Quality.
Well, you know where you're going, mate.
Yeah.
He's not going to let me drive up there.
No, anywhere here is good, isn't it?
Mate.
Quality, man.
You, man.
Nice one,
Lovely to meet you.
bruv. You
the best
too.
of